Welcome to the home for the digitally curious. My name is Annie Lopsh and I am an author as well as a language confidence coach. So today we continue with part 3 of the 3-part free English introduction course here on YouTube. Remember that this is for a beginner level, general British English. So for today's class, you will need your smartphone, you will need an internet connection as well as a translator. And in this lesson, we are going to cover basic English sentences as well as grammar classifications. And we will also focus a little bit on extended reading as well as spelling and identification of these specific grammar classifications. So remember to open your translator. If there's anything you do not understand, please look it up before you proceed. For now, I need you to look up the following words. So they are verb, subject, object, man, eat, and cake. Okay, so once you have those, I've actually got an illustration here for you of the very use of those words, which I have converted into a sentence. The man eats cake. Please repeat after me. The man eats cake, and you can see him depicted here eating cake. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is an example of a basic structure of an English sentence. So we have the subject, which is the man. We have eats, which is the verb, and cake, which is the object. So can you see how I want us to just create some space here. So can you see how, upon further analysis, an easy way to remember this is that the subject tells you who performs what action in a sentence. In other words, the man in this sentence. So the subject tells you who performs what action in a sentence, and in this example, the man would be the subject. And the verb tells you what action is being performed. Okay, so it expresses the action. These are doing words, and in this instance, eating or eats would be the verb, okay, which comes from the word or the verb to eat. And then of course you have the object, which in a sentence generally receives the action, and in this instance the cake would be the object. So that sentence structure can further be broken down into 4 primary classifications, and one would be the noun or a noun, the noun group, which can be a person, in other words, a boy, a girl, teacher, friend. This could be a place or a country, a location such as any of these listed, or where you live. It could also be an object, such as any of these listed, or the cake, as we've seen in the previous sentence example. And then you have the verb classification, which we have spoken about briefly. So these are your action or doing words. So eats was the example we looked at. Further examples include jumping, running, and speaking. And you can look these up in your translator. Look up these words in your translator and you will see that they're all about doing. Okay? The last, or at least the third last category would be adjectives. And what adjectives do is they tell you more about the first group, which are nouns. So adjectives tell you more about the first classification, which would be nouns here. Okay? Your adjectives tell you more about the nouns. So they modify the noun, that's their function. And these are examples of adjectives in practice. So girl would be a noun, but when you add beautiful in front of it, then beautiful tells you more about the girl. So she's a beautiful girl. We have the man and tall in front of it, which tells you more about him. So he's a tall man. Friend, before it we added good, and that tells you more about what type of friend he is. So that's a very good example of the functions that adjectives perform. And then the last category would be adverbs. And I really like this word because it tells you exactly. The word itself tells you more or less what it means. And what they do is they tell you more about the verb. And modifying the verb in the process. So quickly, slowly, and badly are examples of such. So in other words, in the second category where we have our verbs, we have terms like jump, run, and speak. But the moment you add quickly, or slowly, or badly, alongside these verbs, then it certainly does tell you more about the verb. For example, if you say the man jumps quickly, or the man runs slowly, or the girl speaks badly, those are all good examples of the adverb modifying the verb, or acting as a modifier for the verb. So the marriage of the different classifications as depicted here certainly helps us communicate better. Now I would like us to look at these classifications in sentences. And for this you can also open your translator to look up any words you do not understand. But I will need you to repeat after me. 1. The man runs quickly. 2. The girl sings very loudly. 3. The boy quietly opens the box. I'll repeat that. The boy quietly opens the box. 4. The large birds fly quickly. 5. The weather in Paris is lovely. 6. The large blue lorry drives slowly through town. So shall we read through these one more time? 1. The man runs quickly. 2. The girl sings very loudly. 3. The boy quietly opens the box. 4. The large bird flies quickly. 5. The weather in Paris is lovely. 6. The large blue lorry drives quickly. So that's the large blue lorry drives slowly through town. Okay? So those are all examples of those classifications in the context of a sentence. So to summarize, in this lesson, you have learned about basic English sentences with the different grammatical components. Specifically, we've focused on 4 parts of speech. In other words, your verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs, as well as the function they perform. And lastly, we looked at sentence structure as well as the grammatical classifications through reading, spelling, and identifying exercises. So your exercise for this lesson would be to practice the 4 main parts of speech and also how to identify them in a sentence the next time you read. Next would be to practice reading and spelling English sentences properly. At least basic English sentences. And if you are interested in a comprehensive English program, remember to sign up with me at any point. So that's it for me today, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now. I'll see you on part 3 of this video. Thank you very much for your attention.